everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back at Higurashi When They Cry. So we finished up chapter 6, and the whole entire group is actually finally on the same page. Hopefully there's no more just misunderstandings now that everyone is band together. It's like as I mentioned before, this is honestly the most united everyone has been in all the past installments, well, just because of misunderstandings, people not communicating, or literally just a lot of strife because of extenuating circumstances. Let's say for that, honestly. And honestly, the only thing which is something we need to consider of maybe this entire situation being upended completely is how Oishi's gonna get involved in this. He appears consistently every single time, in each and single installment, and if he doesn't appear in this installment, that's actually gonna be really gosh dang weird. If something else comes in, it actually makes things even worse then, because what the fuck is even gonna happen next then? Good god. Oh boy. Because there's already implying that literally where they buried the body of of Rina and Tepe is gonna be in the same place where later on the summer vacation they're gonna dig up the trees and cut them down and all that, for either just making new buildings, stuff like that in the future. I can't quite remember what the tip was top of my head. Just the whole area's being excavated out and the body's being discovered, so they better have a new plan, honestly. But oh boy, is something else gonna happen different before they realize that? Okay. She believed that if she kept laughing that she would be happy. She believed that if she cared about someone, that person would care for her as well. Yeah, that's how we know, technically, things gonna immediately change over. Even the last installment. Leaving the sad memories behind, the girl turned forward to face tomorrow. We only got these kinds of lines from the last installment that fit, Miyakashi after the time jump. Without being spoiled, without relying on anyone, all alone, to carve a path into the future. What awaits her? Is it happiness? Is it unhappiness? Sumi Horoboshi. I wanted to love someone, but the truth is, I wanted to be loved. I mean, don't we all? Oh my gosh, look, it's the festival time. That means Sling Bad's gonna happen. I'll be surprised nothing does happen, honestly, here. I'll be goddamn shocked beyond my core. Welcome! Would you like a hot dog? Our shade ice is the best you've ever tasted. You can have it with strawberry syrup, melon syrup, or Hawaiian blue syrup. For a second there, you were acquainted to just, here, have a hot dog. We put some shade ice over top of it and just smothered in syrup. I don't know how a hot dog would taste with them all the flavoring syrup on top of it with ice. That does not sound good. Soggy bread. No. Just no. Try a takoyaki roulette. Roulette. Oh, different flavors, I guess. The winner is packed with a ton of mustard. Okay. There are a great number of booths this year's Wanton Nagashi Festival. Anything become a festival if there are vendors selling food and music for bond dances, I thought. It's still June, but it had been extremely hot the past few days. Almost as if it's already summer. Man, it's not like it's June or anything like that. Sure, it's different in Japan, but it's not like it's June. When you have a June festival with bond dance music under this kind of weather, the only thing that's missing to make it a perfect summer festival is fireworks. Bzz, bzz, this is Akuma guy. Oh my good god. Oishi-san, you can hear me? Over. Oh, are we actually in wait, hon, are we... we're in Oishi's head, actually. Oh my good gosh. I heard a voice coming from my portable radio. Was earphone. Looks a little like I'm secretly listening to the horse races while I'm duty. This is Oishi. Okay, then. I can hear you loud and clear. Man, honestly. Okay, so we're literally seeing how he just goes about guard duty, or police guard duty at the festival the whole time, then. If anything weird technically happens. This is Oishi. I can hear you loud and clear. The town councilors gave us a lot of food. We have Odin, yakisoba, pork belly stew, and some barley tea, and whatever the heck this thing is. Do you mean the barley tea we drink on duty, or the one we can't drink on duty? Well, both. If it's a canned drink, I'll take it. If it's in a cup, don't worry about it. Roger that. Ah, and all the members of the town council are here to say hi. We have the mayor and the head of the Sonozaki family here, too. What, that old bag Oreo's there? You tell her that I'm patrolling right now and don't know when I'll be back? I don't think I can do that for you, sir. She knows you have portable radio, so she told me to call you and to bring you back here. She looks really mad. How dare you not report to her? How dare you? I'm sure it'll be a stroke that kills her. Roger that. Tell her with extreme courtesy that I'll be back soon. Please. Oh well, guess I'll have to go back and mingle with the locals. You sound very, very sad about the fact. All of a sudden, a group of kids came running towards me from behind. Hello. Took a quick look at them, I noticed they were the granddaughter of the old bag and her friends. They occupied a corner of the shooting gallery stall, making a lot of noise. Yeah, it's this whole thing, honestly. It's this whole thing, actually. Became the first installment. Whatever happened with the ghostly doppelganger in the third one? Me and Sonozaki? When acting her age, she's a cute, normal girl. But do I ever hate it when she acts like a member of the Sonozaki family? She'll be the boss of the Okonomiya Yakuza territory in 10 or 20 years, just you wait and see. And I was thinking things like that. I noticed that Mia wasn't the one taking leadership of her group this time. It was the boy. That boy. I know him. He just moved here recently. You apparently read his whole goddamn file on him. And even still... Again, like, I'm still goddamn annoyed at how you handled the whole thing in the third installment. My god, you just, literally just started, like, threatening him just when he's just, like, saying, we don't know you. Please, either go to Teacher's Lounge or get the fuck out. Leave us alone. Ugh. Still won't let it go. That boy, I know him. He just moved here recently. The boy from the Maebara mansion. It's technically manor. That's not a mansion, that's a manor. Get the terminology right, okay? Keiichi Maebara-kun, was it? I heard that Maebara family is from the city, and they're supposedly very rich, too. But he doesn't flaunt his family's wealth, and he has a good reputation because of that. Even though he just moved here, he's already adjusted to his new school. Man, he's popular with his classmates, too. Everyone in the village seems to like him as well. Sounds like a perfect reputation to him, do something bad in the background, and no one will, like, bat an eye at you later on. I mean, he's very interesting to watch as a person in many moods. Boys of his age sure have a lot of energy. Ah, to be young again. Hey, you're up next, Reina. You're lucky it's your turn. Are you okay? Are you feeling sick? I'm sorry. Guess I have to pass on taking a shot. Like, still, I'm, adjusting. Well, that whole bearing and body thing happened literally just the day before, honestly, or... Okay, you should take a break for a bit. So, that would make it my turn, no? Victory shall be mine. Look at the four of them are having a good time. The girl called Reina seemed outside the circle of smiles. Her name is Reina Ryugu. I know technically even by this point, honestly, every single time, I'm already, at some level, I'm already, like, mispronouncing her name, even at this point, but after so many goddamn times, and trying to figure the proper way to pronounce her name, her first name, or anything like back and forth, and obviously, the whole thing with Rena with the pink hair, honestly, that's somebody how her name's supposed to be pronounced, but or somewhat close to it, but still, I can never get over it. I'm sticking to it, even after all this time. What was your real name? See, I fucking knew this was gonna happen. Like, this whole conversation, I'm preemptive it, okay? I couldn't remember, but I can check when I get back to the station. We gotta figure out every single goddamn nook and cranny. Reina's only a nickname. I believe she moved here a year before Maebara-kun did. Her mother divorced her father, something like that. Oh wow, apparently you know everything about Keiichi, but not enough about Reina, apparently, right now, top of your head. Wow. She's a strong girl who does all the housework by herself. She's a very modest girl, I'm told, which is rare in this era. Like Maebara-kun, it seemed like she hadn't really opened up to her friends just yet. They had looked like a group of 5, but there was some distance between her and the others. It's a little sad, you know? It seems like that way to you, but technically, they seem to be close. Maybe just the whole thing of getting back into the groove of things, something traumatic happening recently. You know how it is with young kids, honestly. Maebara couldn't has become a part of the village, but Reina's still by herself. Well, that's just how it looks to me. Bzzz, Oishi-san, the chief and the sector manager are here. Please come back as soon as possible. Roger that. I can't believe the chief came all the way here to say hi to the locals. I guess he's very dedicated to the community service, huh? Takasugi, oh. I can't remember, like, did we ever hear his name, honestly? It sounds familiar, but, my memory's not working. This is Takasugi. Oji-san, can you hear me? You copy. Over. Yes, I hear you. I'm on my way back right now. I'll be there in a minute. Over. Bzzz. If I don't hurry up, even the chief might end up calling me. You forgot to say the word over, okay? This is normal walkie-talkie etiquette. I ran back to the headquarters tent. Wait, is the dance already starting? Like, what? Oh, okay, it's skipping forward through time. Oh, hi. Oh, he witnessed, I guess, those two... Oh, yeah, it was literally... It's literally just continuing the first installment all over again, actually. Huh. Wait, oh my good god, actually. Is this literally just the first installment parallel all over again? It's not an entirely new scenario? Then... Okay. Please don't tell me this is actually this is literally just this is Chapter 5's version of the installment 1, honestly. Because, like, if it's not, then, like, literally, then this is, like, almost just pure, like, unreliable narrator lying to the extreme, honestly. Please don't let it be that, honestly. Mochi-san, Patairi is here. Oh my gosh, look again! He's here! Oh my good gosh! Wait, actually, are you in his head now? Oh, thank you so much for coming. So, what do you think, Patairi? Oishi entered the cordoned off area. Yeah, it's about all of this stuff again. And, like, yeah, he's literally close just to, like, even see the normal bodies around the area. So, literally, he can see, like, he knows all the bodies and stuff like that. And there, people from forensics were taking pictures of the corpse from various angles. Iri was squatting down next to the dead body of Jiro Tomataki. When he stood up, he looked pale. Okay, so... Oh, we're just third-person view of this. Can't believe it. I know, I can't believe it either. As far as I could see, he clawed his own throat with his bare hands. This isn't a normal way to go. Most likely it was to cause some drug or something. Are you saying he was a drug addict? Who knows? Not a drug addict, or just in a conventional sense, it's more forced upon him. I guess it's gonna be my job to find that out. Oichi-san? What's with this 2x4? Maybe he was swinging it around. Then he threw it away and had more fun clawing his throat, I guess. That's a way to put it. Why was he swinging a piece of lumber around? He probably did in self-defense. You notice there's several external injuries in this body? Yes, I can see some bruises. The easiest explanation I can think of is that he was attacked by someone on his way home to Okinomiya from the festival. He seized by the culprit, given a shot of some kind of dangerous drug, went crazy, and died. Never heard of any drug that can make people claw out their throats. I'm not a specialist, but many drug addicts injure themselves when they're in a terminal condition. Not to that extreme. Well, I'm sure the old man in forensics will take care of the investigation. Excuse me, Oichi-san? We found a bicycle believed to belong to Jiro Tomataki about 100 miles away from here. Literally, if the police actually do not find, like, you know, Mio Takano, that literally just proves it's like the first installment all over again, because it was only the very first installment that only her body was never uncovered. Or she was not found at all, at the very least. In this case, it's actually still alive. It's the only time she was never found alive or dead. Oh, that's great. Thanks for the find. Any other clues? Not yet. We're investigating it right now. So, that means the place the bicycle was found is most likely the place he was attacked. And then he ran away from the suspect and ended up here. Stroke chin. Oishi frowned, crossing his arms in front of his chest. Iri was looking at the miserable corpse of Tomataki, and he kept saying the same thing over and over. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Doctor, it happened, so it was possible, okay? Try to think flexibly. Although I get that you don't really see something like this every day despite being a doctor. Anyway, thanks for your cooperation. Okay, then. You can go home now. We called you for emergency medical care, but it looks like it was a waste of a trip. Sorry. No, it was all purposeful. It just, like, it's all happening again, just like you thought of with him, God damn it, with Satoshi. That means you think he's important enough to know this. It means he's a person of interest. Don't pull the wool over my eyes. Oishi stuck out his hand out of the blue tent, stuck his head out of the blue tent and asks, and I'm gonna give him a ride home. Iri gasps while Sunny to turn to Oishi. What about Takano-san? What happened to Takano-san? What? Oh, your nurse. Like, I think she was with him. She okay? And actually, like, that actually points him, he's connected to her as well since he's a nurse at his clinic, so, I was thinking in my head that even if, she didn't die and all that, like, yeah, that actually could tie if, he could have heard something from her, honestly, if, he called her at night or anything like that. Before maybe he died, if there was, like, a window of time, honestly, before, like, I guess a couple hours later from where, you know, Takano died and where the Tomataki's body was discovered, there could be that time where, maybe they called or anything like that. It could make sense, because, like, everything seems to point that like, Takano killed, at the very least, Tomataki, or, like, had some sort of hand in it. At least know something that happens, and, she's trying to hide that fact from people. So, do you know her phone number? Of course. Guma-chan? Get her phone number from Dr. Iri and make someone at the station call her house. Understood. Doctor, can I have the number? Yes, here it is. Kumagai got the phone number from Iri, repeated it back, and then dashed away from the blue tarps. Doctor? Takano-san and Tomataki-san were close friends, right? Yes. Have you heard any troubles between them? No. Not even once. They kept them, the relationship in the lowdown, even in their workplace. Or she's not very talkative at all. They were very close. Well, I hope she's okay. In the worst case, she could be dead, or she could be the culprit. I see. Nurses have access to dangerous drugs. We don't have anything like that in my clinic. If we did, we'd be extra careful with them. Maybe so. There's no way Takano-san could smuggle out a drug from my clinic. But it's easier for a nurse to do it than for regular people, though. Right? I guess I never heard of a drug like that. Don't have anything like that in my clinic. We should probably do a supply check, then. When she saw him, she's in the home. Or she's sleeping. I don't know how late this is, honestly. The standby unit says they're going to go to her house to check. Okay. Doctor, can you give me her address? Guma-chan? Can you also check if the police headquarters has found any unidentified female bodies tonight? Maybe we should check the other prefectures, too. Tell the section manager if you can call the headquarters in the nearby prefectures and ask if they have any unidentified female bodies. Yes, sir. Are you saying that Takano-san might also be dead? It's the festival, so... Dude, you shouldn't roll it out, honestly, at this point. Well, I don't know. I don't know if she's dead or if she's the culprit. Or just alive. Of course, it's possible she's not involved at all. She might just be getting drunk in a bar somewhere. Just off in a different town entirely. On the other side of Japan right now. It's unbelievable. Who does things like this? Well, it's unbelievable to me, too. This fits with the rest of the mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. It's been 5 years now. That would make this the 5th curse of the Oyashiro-sama. Damn it. I've got to get whoever's behind it this year for sure. I really want to put an end to these cases before I retire. Oishi hates the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Been leading him around by the nose for 5 consecutive years. I'm pretty sure it's obvious. The victim the first year, the manager of the dam construction site, was his friend. Despite desire to revenge his friend, the mystery had only deepened, and one case followed another year after year. Oishi would be retiring next March. As a retiree, he'd be able to ask for the progress of the investigation, but he wouldn't be able to take the initiative anymore. In other words, this year was his last chance for revenge. Would he have to put his head in the lion's mouth to capture the culprit? Oishi quietly clenched his fist. I believe this maze is an exit. Maze is a very convenient word here. A maze always has an exit. How about a labyrinth, but it's way much more complex? It has multiple exits, and sometimes they're not even the right ones. You can lead right back to the start. You don't call it a maze but doesn't have one. I know I'm on the right path towards the exit of this maze. I used to miss these minor divergences, and I don't miss anything. I don't make any mistakes. I call bullshit in the last part. This time I could feel a response that was different than all the other times. I'm sure I can finally get to the exit of this maze. But, no matter which path I chose to come to this point, Joe Tomataki always dies. Always dies? Wait one whole second. Hold on. Pause that right now. I see the time is passing right now, but hold on. Hold your goddamn phones. Hold that. Hold your goddamn applause. Hold your fucking horses. What was that? What was that? Hold on a second. What is going on there? So much time has goddamn passing. No, turn back the clock right now. I want to see that again. Oh my god, so many fucking days have passed. Holy shit. What is going on? What was that again? No, hold on a second. Hold on a goddamn second. So much time is passing. Stop! Ah! Ah! Hold on, what was that? Hold on a second. But remember which path I chose to come to this point, Joe Tomotaki's-san always dies. I can probably get to the exit maze. Yeah, this only seems like it's only from Rika, it's from Rika's perspective. Yeah. Okay, then. Alright, then. Okay, no, then. That has to be from Rika's perspective, that small bit. Okay, alright. Reina had been sick ever since that day, and she had been able to join in on the club activities as often since. Are we back to Keiichi's perspective, or are we just completely out-of-body experience that's floating around like a goddamn ghost looking at everyone, just eyeing everyone up, apparently? Yeah, I still feel feverish. You do, huh? It's a pity. Hey, Reina, why don't you just try and play with us today? I think you'll feel a lot better if you blow off some steam with us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this old man's agreement. Do you think so? Do you? Sometimes rushing too much is bad for you. I mean, wasn't she, for a while, just playing the club activity games for everything, too, non-stop, actually? So, did she actually have time to rest, or did we just conveniently skip over those parts? They're quite correct. All illness comes from the mind, don't you know? Not always. Everybody suspected for a while that Reina isn't really sick, at least physically. Just that many things happened to her at once. She caught a mental cold. That's why I thought she would get better once she played with us, just like we used to. It seemed like Reina was aware of that too. She knew that she had to get out of her state of depression soon. She wanted to get better, and she wanted to have fun again every day. Okay, I'll do it. Great. That's the spirit. Considering the fact that Reina is still recovering from her illness, let's play a tabletop game today. Let me see. Just as parsing through the infinite locker of all the games. Not this one, just throws out the window. Not that one, not this one. Just a whole entire pile just goes up outside the window before. Here we go, our pick. Mia started rummaging through her locker, humming to herself. She took one game after another from the locker and put them aside, throwing up the window. Don't forget that detail. The locker definitely didn't obey the laws of physics. God fucking damn it. The amount of games she took out from the locker was more than what it could physically hold. Not just Tetris right there. Oh, I forgot about this one. Huh. We'll worry about that later. Just throws into the trash. Let's try this one. Today we'll be playing the detective game. I was actually fucking thinking Clue, honestly. Is this actually the first installment? That means, hold on. That means literally all, like, technically this installment literally is focused on the first one, but literally after everything, that's literally why Reina was being so weird to Keiichi. Literally, so they conveniently skipped over the fact that Keiichi, like, was there and helped him bury a body and all that, and and that's why everyone was so goddamn mad. It's literally just them immediately just like taking the whole let's forget any of that sort of thing ever happened, almost too literally. That if it is true, that actually irks me a tiny bit. I have seen other games do like unreliable narrator sorts, but not to that level. Not to that level. We'll be playing this detective game. Oh, what's that? Sounds interesting. Oh, this is a game where you guess the culprit, the murder weapon, and the scene of the crime. It's a game where you use your brain. Wow. You'll pick it up as you play. All you need to do is note down the information you have. Oh! In other words, you need to learn the trick of note-taking. It's technically proselytization, honestly. This is the game for intelligent people like myself. The rules don't seem that difficult. It's literally all the same as the first installment, literally. Oh, good God, please don't tell me honestly. Please don't tell me honestly. Oh, good God. I don't want to get annoyed right now, please. No! In short, it's a game where you sound out the cards each player holds in order to try and reason out the identity of the cards first drawn on the deck. There are plenty of games in different formats where you try to identify something hidden in the least number of steps. This one just happens to be a competitive one of those. The key to winning this game would be how well you can organize your information. We usually like to play athletic games so that we can run around a lot, but in our club, you have to excel both academically and athletically. Alright, this is gonna be great. Let's play. Reina, do you remember how we still haven't decided the winner of the water gun battle? I'm gonna settle it today once and for all. Oh, are you? And I'm not gonna go easy on you then. If Reina's gonna get serious, I think it's serious too. Yes, indeed! Since that water gun battle, I've reevaluated Keiichi-san and Reina-san. I'm gonna be merciless today. If you don't get it away, you're just gonna upend the entire clue board onto the goddamn floor, apparently. This is getting exciting. This old man's been waiting for everyone to get this fired up. Excellent. Let's do this. Are you ready? I did it with a knife in the library. Is there even a library in this town, honestly? In this town? Okay. My turn. Keiichi-kun did it with the poison in the hall. My turn. Mion did it with a pistol in the lounge. Everyone's accused of being a murderer here, honestly. You're holding the pistol, aren't you? You're bluffing. I think I know the suspect of the murder weapon now. I've narrowed the scene of the crime down to 2. Aw, you're good, Rika-chan. Narrowed the suspect down to 2, but it's hard to pin down which one it is. I'll give you a tip. There's always a hint in the questions the players ask you. Or someone just says like, exactly the cards they have in their hand just to throw everyone else off, honestly. If you figure it out, you can even solve the whole mystery by the order of the cards they just put down the table. I see. Damn, I underestimated the depth of this game. Oh no, my notes are such a mess. I can't even read my own handwriting. Then take better notes, honestly. Once you acquire the skill of note-taking, you have a 90%, 70% chance to win this game. But even a 70% chance won't be enough to defeat me. I kinda knew I didn't stand a chance to win this game, but I gradually start picking it up. Reina seemed to be getting her energy back as she played along. It was the right decision to force her to play with us today. While we were in the middle of the game, Chi-sensei came to the classroom. My, you look like you're having fun. Anyway, is Ryugu-san here? Aww. You have a visitor. Everybody looked puzzled. Parents sometimes showed up at school for some reason, but Chi-sensei never called them visitors. It's rare to have a visitor at school. Please just tell me this scenario is actually something like a different variation alternative than the first installment. Then I'd be fine with it, but if this is literally just the first one again, oh good God, I feel like a rant coming on, honestly. Oh, good God, please don't. Because it honestly makes complete sense then why, like, Reina was, like, being so, finicky towards Oishi, like, like, talking to Keiichi and all that. It makes sense, but then why didn't Keiichi realize that then? Like, that sounds too naive and too stupid then for him not to pick up on that. And, like, you know, reason out that's why everyone, like, was being weird towards him, honestly. That makes a lot of sense then, honestly. Like, that's literally the one thing that makes sense, honestly. Why wouldn't that be the first thing that comes to your brain, talking to a literal detective who literally told Keiichi by name about this and told him about everything? It makes complete sense why everyone's just weirdly off, like, talking to Keiichi, like, and them being weird about it. It makes complete sense then. Oh, I wonder who it is. We'll have to go. You can continue without me. I mean, this seems like it's different than with not Keiichi talking to them, but like Oishi talking to her, but I swear to God, if this is just conveniently left out of the first installment. Reina left the classroom to run. What should we do? We wait for her? Well, we don't know how long it's gonna take. Reina told us we could continue. So let's do that. Yeah! Assuming we're going to her perspective now. Yeah. Around the entrance, the glaring sun and the cool shade made for a clear contrast. An old man who's holding his jacket on his arm was waiting for me. He looked like he was overheating and his tie was limp. Are you Ryugu-san? Reina, Ryugu-san. Ever since Rina called me Reina, I've hated the name more than ever. Because of that, I didn't have a good first impression of this man. Yes, that's me. May I ask who you are? My car's air conditioning. So why don't we move this into there? Weren't you hot out here? He ignored my question and started walking towards the car parked in front of the school gate. Ah, stranger danger! Go away! Ah, shoo! Run! Run for the hills, Reina! If he wanted to talk about something normal, he would have used the teacher's office. But he wanted to talk in his car instead. Couldn't help but feel suspicious. Chi-sensei let him see me, though. That meant he wasn't a suspicious individual as far as she was concerned. Not suspicious in the conventional sense, but a tiny bit of animosity maybe for the town. Who was he? I don't bite, you know. Please, this way. He called out to me while opening the rear door. Is he a policeman? Did the police find out that I killed those two? I felt anxious all of a sudden. Just lie, and lie some more. But mostly lie with the truth. Was this what they called a voluntary interview? I don't want to go into the car, but if Richard is offered, it'd only make me look suspicious. No, honestly, just in the looks, everything like that, it actually wouldn't be too suspicious, honestly, unless he just has a preconceived notion. Which, it's not gonna work either way, honestly, but, it's just be weird, just go into some, car when you point blank asked him, who he was, and, both his name and his, what his job position was, and he didn't answer. Pretty sure that's, reasonable enough, honestly. Like, just, ask again if he doesn't say anything, then, yeah, even more suspicious than, then run. Then run if he doesn't answer again. I prepared myself and got in. It was really cool inside the car. A car AC must cost a fortune. Back then, apparently. At least my father's car doesn't have one. Please let me know if it's too cold. I like keeping it that way. So, what's this talk about? In retaliation, I ignored his question and got to the point like he did. He pulled a small notebook out of his breast pocket and flipped through it. He picked out a photo from it. The photo showed the face of a goofy-looking man. Please tell me if there's anything you know about this person. The man in the picture was expressionless and looked half asleep. Sometimes you can't even recognize your own family members in a photo where they don't have an expression. There's no way I would recognize a person who wasn't related to me. Anyway, that was a bit of a relief. Okay, so they don't remember, like, even if, like, it seemed like Tomotaki actually was part of the group again, it's the goofy-looking man? Is that actually not Tomotaki, actually? It's someone completely else, or... Oh god, this is actually eerie. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else we could think of, honestly. But anyway, that was a bit of a relief. This had nothing to do with Rina or partner. There were scribbles in his shirt. It's literally Tomotaki, and it seemed like it implied from they all like met together in like that stall thing in front of it. It implied at the very least. Okay, yeah, like they all met together on the tent, honestly. So, and he lost, so they scribbled in his shirt then. So, we found the signatures of students at the school, including yours, Ryugu-san. Oh, wait, is this Tomotaki-san? I don't feel his usual carefree unreliableness from his picture at all. From this half-awake, emotionless face. Wait, where did he get this? Wait, huh? Where did he get this picture then? As something else? It's from his like belongings like that? His like ID picture? Or how about this woman then? I knew what he was gonna show. Oh, her name is Mio-san. Mio Takano-san. When did you see them last? I think it was right after the Watanagashi festival. Didn't you notice anything strange? Anything. Please tell me. Did something happen to them? Dodge question. Yeah! I got it! To tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if it was Reina or Mion. So he gambled? Gambling is apparently the spice of life here. How risky! It doesn't matter how he won. What matters is that he won. Oh, Reina. Welcome back! What took you so long? Mia noticed that Reina had returned. She looked exhausted. It was only just talking about those two that I'm, yeah, I guess always never caught into the fact like, those two have gone missing. At all. Until the forestry service takes their literal pathway. I have no idea what you talked about with the visitor, but it was obvious it wasn't something fun. Reina, are you okay? What? What's okay? What? I'm talking about you. You look pale. Are you sure you're alright? Reina tried to convince us she was fine, but her face clouded over for a moment and she decided to leave early. Okay then. I shouldn't have forced her to join the game. I was regretting it a little. Reina probably forced us to play with us, even though she wasn't feeling well at all. Reina put her stuff in her bag, apologized to us for leaving early, and left the classroom. Oh, good God, actually. Like, that's the reason why Oshi chose, like, Keiichi in the first installment of, like, I'm now just thinking this is alternative to that one. That, he really just chose Keiichi because he was technically more of an outsider in the group than anyone else, and now he just noticed Reina's keeping her distance because she was still grappling with everything that happened, that he just associated with her of all that. I thought she was easy to, like, oh, good God, to get to her. God damn it. Well, she's gone now. I guess we have to keep playing until we have a loser. That's right. Whose turn is it? Eyes everyone. Meep. Okay, Rika-chan. Come on. Yes, definitely an alternative. I was actually gonna get so goddamn mad if it was gonna be, like, the first installment all over again. Just with that knowledge of, hey, look, Reina killed someone! No wonder everyone is so weirded out by you, Keiichi. Oh my good God. I would've been so goddamn mad. So mad, actually. Ugh. First of all, I wasn't very close to Mio-san. I knew who she was, so I greeted her whenever we happened to pass by. But that was about it. I really talked to her except for the one time. And that time was only recently. It was between the day of the Watanagashi festival and the day I was caught in the act of burying the two corpses by Keiichi-kun and my other friends. I had a phone call from the library that evening, and I was told that my father needed to return the book he borrowed. He was shopping in the home improvement store at the time, so I went to the library to return the book for him. I was there, I thought about borrowing some books myself and started walking in the library. I saw her there. Oh, Rina-chan. Hello. Mio-san. Hello to you too. I expected to see you here. Really? I was gonna say the same thing. I always spend time here. Never seen you. She smiled in a very attractive and charming way that only a mature woman can do. Her smile gave no indication that she knew her death was just a few days away. She said that she often met with Tomotaki-san in the library. Yeah, okay, so that definitely was that man I guess Shion saw when Takano left in the last installment. It seemed like she had some time to kill, so she told me she wanted to buy me a drink. Let's go back to the coffee shop for no reason. I had nothing to do after that. I let her buy me a canned iced milk tea from the vending machine in the library, and we talked for a while. Once I came to think about it, it was a little ironic. She mostly talked about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. She had no idea that she was going to be the victim this fifth year. Or maybe she did know, but she accepted it. The series of mysterious deaths? You've heard about it at least once, haven't you? 4 years ago, the manager of the damn construction site was murdered. 3 years ago, the Hojo couple died. 2 years ago, the Fruity couple died. And last year, it was Sadako-chan's aunt. A series of mysterious deaths have been going on for years now. In a few days, it'll be the 5th. I've heard about it, but you don't know for sure that somebody will die this year. I do. Someone will die in a few days for sure. There's that old saying, everything that happens twice will happen a third time. So isn't it also true that what happens 4 times will happen a 5th? Or then a 6th? It just stops at 5th, honestly, in every single timeline after the 5th one. No matter if even the whole town is still alive or not. That's when it all just ends, actually. The whole curse. Mio-san was convinced the 5th mysterious death was going to happen, but she didn't know she was going to be the 5th victim. That's ironic and also really creepy. I mean, creepy that she doesn't know it? That doesn't sound very okay. But there's always something creepy about her. She likes morbid things. Who cares that she took it too far? And killed her boyfriend. Who cares? So maybe she knew that she was going to be killed in a few days, but still managed to make the mysterious smile. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Of course I know about them. I've lived here for more than a year. Every year on the day of Watanagashi Festival, one traitor to the village dies mysteriously. It's been that way since the dam conflict. Each case is solved individually, but mysterious incidents happen every year. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of will to all this. The creepiness and incomprehensibility of it all gave rise to the name The Curse of Oyashiro-sama, which fit perfectly. Despite this, I always thought the Curse of Oyashiro-sama was just a series of coincidences. Oyashiro-sama only lets other people do his dirty deeds. My reason for that is because I strongly believe that Satoshi-kun was the one who murdered his aunt in the 4th year. I don't have any evidence, but I just know it. It's my gut intuition. I know Satoshi-kun was in a serious predicament last year, and that he had nowhere to return. He had no one to help him, but he had to save Sadako-chan as soon as he could. Satoshi-kun thought it through and made the best choice he could to handle the situation, just like I did when I had my problem with Rina. Actually, it's more like in your case, it was technically self-defense and spur of the moment, honestly. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same thing, honestly. More like like what you did with Teppei actually is more in line with what happens to Satoshi. That's probably the analogy you put up here, okay? I hesitated to inform Mio-san that Satoshi-kun was the murderer in the 4th year, so I just listened to her for a while. According to her theory, the series of mysterious deaths isn't just a set of coincidences, but is instead a series of interrelated murder cases. Think about it, like, if this technically happens in every single thing, if the whole like Reina's dad tells her take books back to the library, she technically is talking to almost everyone in the group then, except for Keiichi before either the festival day or the day before, honestly, depending on what happens in the events leading up to it. She basically talks to pretty much everyone. The only thing I can't think of would she actually talk to Sadako? I kind of believe that she would talk to Rika on some level, especially with all that, but I don't know why she would talk to Sadako, actually. Yeah, I can definitely see, talking to Mion, yeah, because, Mion actually has, recollections of, seeing her around, talking to her, honestly. There was that mention before from the 3rd installment of, Keiichi, bringing up the whole Yakuza stuff, and, Mion immediately, called Mio out by name, so yeah, they have interacted before in some level. Not even just with Shion. It was even her goddamn journal thinking about it in the second installment, literally. Eh. According to her theory, the series of the mysterious deaths isn't just a set of coincidences, but is instead a series of interrelated murder cases. At that point, my theory was completely the opposite of hers, but I decided not to cut in. You know about the cult of Oyashiro-sama here in Hinamizawa, don't you? Nope, never heard of Oyashiro-sama in my life. Okay, thank you, bye. Takano-san started telling me that Hinamizawa was once called Onigafuchi. Yeah, just giving the whole rundown of just everything we learned in the other installments real quickly. She also explained the story of how the villagers were in the old days, showing me the scrapbook she was so proud of. The villagers back then were called man-eating demons, but they were also admired as transcendents, enlightened people not bound by earthly desires. So, according to your theory, a group of cultists who worship Oyashiro-sama are living in Hinamizawa, and they're trying to show the power of their god by enacting this series of mysterious deaths, right? I'm not sure if we should call them cultists or fundamentalists. The line between them is very vague, ideologists taking it extreme or not. In the Meijing era, when the name of the village was changed to Hinamizawa, the customs and the tradition of Onigafuchi were brought to an end. I think there are some people who want to revive those traditions and regain the name and awe of Onigafuchi. Mio-san's theory was more than a little crazy, but it was also fascinating. At first, her theory sounded like she would just jump to conclusions, but after she eagerly showed me the documents she'd been studying, I started to think that it wasn't actually too far from the truth. I mean, honestly, like, if it's not, like, the Sonozaki family, there's definitely some group behind it all. Like, just out of reach of, like, it's the main group, like, literally just publicly shadowing over entire village. So there's something else going on there. Especially, again, I still, like, think there's something going on with them, maybe, honestly, like, if, like, it's essentially, like, was, like, demoned away, not from this, like, the Sonozaki family, it was, like, some other group. They then tried to, cover the tracks, like, I guess try to cover up, them kidnapping him with them, I guess, like, trying to, like, the whole person with them, should the fall for Satoshi's, killing the aunt. That's, the police arrested, honestly. Especially if that person has literal ties and knowing about the person with the narcotics in the medical system who has ties to the nursing system, either could be Mio or fucking Coach Erie. I will not let go of this. Ugh. If her theory was true, it would mean that the accidental deaths of the Hojo couple in the second year, the suicide and the death by disease of the Fruity couple in the third year, the drug addict murder in the fourth year were all cooked up. Yeah, honestly, it all makes sense. Even with them, Rika's own foreshadowing stuff, it's always been that way. Dismemberment was perpetrated by a group of people inside the workers of the damn construction. And the Hojo parents, it's implied from Rika's forecast. She doesn't say whether it was an accident or a murder. And the Fruity parents definitely are implied to have literally just died by some method in the future. Then, of course, the whole thing with Satoshi, honestly. But yeah, like, Rika didn't actually mention Satoshi at all, but the aunt was always meant to be a victim. Always, honestly. Huh. But Tomotaki and Takano were never brought up. Never. It means someone who has a lot of power and influence where the police was involved. When I pointed out, Mio nodded in agreement, and she started talking about how strongly they were ruining the village and how deeply they were involved with many public organizations. Again, the coach has been almost seeming to be implied more and more often. He's been invited just to see the dead bodies for a second, and then he's just hey, okay, get out of here now, coach. We have no more use for you. Go away now. He keeps coming up. Okay. After she finished explaining all that, I finally noticed that Mio-san was suggesting that the three families, including the Sonozaki family, were the masterminds behind the murder incidences. In fact, the Sonozaki family really is very powerful. They held influence not only over Hinamizawa and Okinomiya, but also over the entire Shishibone area. It might not be wrong to say that they even hold influence over the entire prefecture. If the Sonozaki family is behind all this, her theory would be more realistic. But that means I should be suspicious of Michan. But no, I shouldn't. We made a pact bond. We're all together in this. But in fact, Michan was very cold and unkind of Satoshi-kun when he was going through a tough time. That's the whole thing with him, Shion stuff, honestly, actually, that mix up, actually. Actually, I'm trying to think about it. It must be the weirdest thing ever to him, actually, even they said the truth right there, it'd be a whole thing entirely then to him, okay, so who is me on this day? Who is she on this day? What's going on? Who's actually who? Oh my good god, stop it. That's gonna be a whole thing if, like, that whole mix-up thing was, yeah. Yeah. I know there was conflict between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family during the Dam Wars, but still, she was very cold to Satoshi-kun, at least that one day. It probably just was the one that left a very big impression on everyone, honestly. And actually, like, since, like, Rain, like, talked to, like, you know, Shion Forbidden, like, asked about the whole crush thing, and then was, like, probably with me, like, trying to keep a distance from Satoshi, honestly, because, the whole thing of making sure Mion and Shion, like, don't intermingle, like, well, not, like, confuse Satoshi, kind of, honestly, like that, and keeping Shion hidden for the time being. Yeah. But me trying to admit that what she did was wrong. I forgave her, too. I don't want to think about that again. I decided to change the subject because I knew it would make me feel uncomfortable if we kept talking about the Sonozaki family. I mean, first of all, what is people's belief in Oyashiro-sama all about? It's a little funny that demons and humans want to coexist. It's kind of hilarious. I'll give you that. It's funny and it's amusing, and it's still it's a really cool thing. It's a cool fantasy, like, just concept, honestly, just think about. That's why I'm so fixated that they shouldn't throw it away, honestly. In folktales, humans usually try to wipe out the demons. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's true discrimination right there. That's true. That's why Oyashiro-sama is so interesting. However, there are actually many stories that say people in old days worshipped a god that had drifted to our world from the land of the gods. It's the true worship of drifted gods, in other words. Drifted gods. I don't think I've heard too much about, like, that kind of mythology and folklore stuff, actually. Not culturally or, like, you know, any kind of stories like that, actually, huh? There are a number of myths all over the world about people worshipping God who came from beyond the sea or up from a river. The gods in those myths are actually people who came from different countries, though, right? That's the general theory, yes. Ancient Japanese culture was far behind that of other nations. When Japanese people in those days saw a foreigner from a developed country, they were so impressed by the knowledge the person had that they started worshiping him as a god. That's one theory. I've heard that Red Oni and Blue Oni were actually foreigners who drifted ashore in Japan because their boats got shipwrecked. I wonder, like, if that's true. I wonder how, like, suddenly, like, changed the beat of, like, I guess, you know, different color schemes. I guess, like, a more monstrous appearance then. The Japanese may have created Tengu foreigners too. They probably saw a foreigner who had a reddish skin with a very long nose. Like, I can't think of anyone, like, why someone has a long nose, like, almost like Pinocchio would then be taken as a monster or anything like that. Actually, reddish skin? Like, someone had, like, a goddamn skin burn, honestly, then... Like, when the people back then, like, notice, like, like, it's actually a skin burn then, or just... They just attached like that was to everyone, all the foreigners that came to the land. I'm so confused. Wow, you're pretty sharp-brained, Chan. I agree with you. I think most drifted god worship are based on encounters with foreigners. But if that's so, Onigafuchi's drifted god worship would have a contradiction. This music actually reminds me of something else. Is this actually another, like, free royalty track? Is it? It sounds so familiar. Do you know what it is? Did I skip that line, actually? Sorry. Onigafuchi's drifted god worship would have a contradiction. A contradiction, then? What is it, then? No, I don't. It's easy. Onigafuchi isn't adjacent to the sea. Is there a river, though? Like, you mentioned rivers, Soma. There's one. We saw Keiichi pass out next to one, so they came from there. Oh, of course. In order to have any connection to foreigners, the place in question must also have a connection to the outside world. In Western countries, that connection would be rivers running between adjacent countries. In Japan, that connection would be the ocean. So most of the Drift of God stories in Japan originated near the shores. Isn't there a possibility that the foreigner washed ashore somewhere else first and traveled to Onikafuchi? Well, the thing about the worship of Oyashiro-sama is, it specifically pinpoints Onikafuchi Swamp as the place where demons first appeared. They have some interesting taste from the swamp and the mud. The swamp isn't connected to any rivers. But that river that's... Wait, hold on a second. Wait, I'm confused now from the third installment. Like, I'm probably misremembering things in the way of it, like, just from all that they said. But, like, the gas from the swamp in that installment, like, risen up and, like, followed along the same trail in the river to exactly where Keiichi was passed out over. But you're saying that was not connected to the swamp in any shape or way? It wasn't even nearby it? So... I'm more confused now. So how could a foreigner wash up there? They teleported. That's why the mystery of Oyashiro-sama is so interesting. How much do you know about the legend Oyashiro-sama? I just read a picture book about it once in school. I feel like I know a lot about it, but I actually don't. I just have an extreme fear of the rule not to leave Hinamizawa. After all, my life went wrong after I left. I felt dizzy when I tried to think about it further, so I stopped. When everything went wrong in Ibaraki, I met Oyashiro-sama, and he told me to go back to Hinamizawa. No. I'll get dizzy. Don't try to remember. Don't try to remember. I can't remember. Not now. I got desperate because I felt responsible for the divorce. I just used Oyashiro-sama as an excuse for my mental instability, and I told my father I wanted to go back to Hinamizawa. Right? But, wait. Oyashiro-sama did come to me. No, the colors are too dazzling. I can only remember the vivid color of the pills and the dizziness. That's actually, like, that is something new to think about. But I don't know if that actually adds... I can't think of, like, how that adds, like, her, like, hearing, like, him, oh god, what kind of pills actually just give someone hallucinations, honestly? I don't know, the medication stuff from that level. That's all you need to know. The demons came out of Onikafuchi Swamp, and they attacked the villagers. Oyashiro-sama saw it, and came down to save the villagers from the demons by exiling them to hell. The demons cried, and the villagers felt bad for them. They decided to let demons live in the village with them. Oyashiro-sama was impressed with the kind hearts of the villagers, so he gave human forms to demons and let them coexist. The blood of the demons blended in with that of the villagers as they lived alongside each other. That's exactly what I read in the book. I felt dizzy, like I was gonna faint, because I touched the one memory I didn't want to. People say that most myths are based on an event of some sort that happened long ago. What event do you think is the truth behind this myth? Because I was still feeling dizzy, all I could do was tilt my head quizzically. It seemed like Mio-san was expecting that response because she smiled, looking satisfied that she successfully made me confused. Yes, I'm gonna let the paradox run through for the child. Okay, then what is the true thing then? Or I guess a reasonable answer for this. She took a scrapbook out of her paper bag. I'll let you borrow this for a while. Thank you. But don't worry, just reading it whenever you have some time to kill. I want to know what you think about the things written in this scrapbook. I'd like to know, if you disagree with me, because you really are very sharp. Jiro-san isn't interested in things like this at all, so I appreciate your input. I had little choice but to take the scrapbook. Apparently, Mio-san came to the library often, so I figured I could return it to her whenever I came to return my books. However, the day I returned the scrapbook to Mio-san never came. What's wrong? You don't look good. Are you feeling okay? I'm just having a premonition of the future, don't worry about this. Oh, I caught a summer cold. I'm still recovering from it. It wasn't the summer cold that was making me feel dizzy. I always get dizzy when I try to remember the time I met Oyashiro-sama in Ibaraki. I mustered up my courage and asked her. My memory of those days in Ibaraki is blurry. I know I met Oyashiro-sama. Nobody believed me, and they told me that it was a hallucination. But I thought Mio-san would listen to me. Mio-san? Can I talk to you about something? Yes, of course. You listen to me, so it's my turn to listen to you then. Well, it's about Oyashiro-sama. You might laugh at me. I won't. You didn't laugh at me either. Mio-san said in a very gentle and mature way, and that encouraged me. Even so, I still hesitate to talk. There's probably nobody but Mio-san with whom I could talk about something like this. I gathered my courage again and spoke. I have met Oyashiro-sama. You have? Yes. I used to live in Hinamizawa until right before I went to elementary school. My mother got a job in Ibaraki, so we moved. Well, you know what that means, right? Yes, I do. You broke the rule of Oyashiro-sama, which is never leave Hinamizawa. That's right. And then many things happened. My mother divorced my father, my family was broken. I got desperate and did some bad things. It must have been terrible. Then what happened? I started hating everything in this world. I started to feel like everybody who was happy was looking down on me. That's when a mysterious existence started to appear. You mean Oyashiro-sama? The first time it came to me was... please don't tell anybody about this. It was when I started injuring myself by cutting my body with a knife. I cut my neck and something very dirty and gross came out with the blood from the wound. It was... I'm not gonna laugh. Go on. The chill I felt that moment of time came back to me. I sealed that memory away so that I wouldn't have to remember it ever again. But once I unsealed it, I started remembering things one to another. Oh. I think it was so bad back then, like just self-harm stuff. Oh. Yes, back then, there was something in the blood. Something crawling. It was countless red dark maggots. Is actually what this, like, all these backgrounds I'm doing before. Not the other one, the more cloudy position, but this one? That is... okay. They squirmed up and out from my neck with each drop of blood. They wanted to stay in my body, so they crawled back in through the cuts. I didn't want those creepy things to get back to my body, so I clawed the cut of my neck to get them out. Oh boy, I can't recall there's any been time like people hallucinating like bugs crawling underneath their skin or anything like that. I can't remember if there's any, like, I remember hearing about anything like that. Oh, good God. But it hurts so much, and it only made my hands and neck bloody. I got scared all of a sudden. I was scared because I thought there were that many nasty maggots in my blood vessels. So I cut a blood vessel in my thigh to see how it looked. I thought I could see it better if it was my thigh. And they oozed out from there too, so many of them. I understand, Ryuga-san, so please calm down. No, you don't understand. The maggots came out with my blood, and then they tried to get back into my veins. It really, really itches. Please, bring a doctor. No, don't claw it like that. Bring me a sedative. Hurry! Hold her down. Please get the maggots in my veins. Please take all the blood out of my body and flush my veins out. There's so many of them in there. Why don't you believe me? I'll show you. You'll believe me if you see them, right? I don't want to get any more shots. No. Whoa. Calm down, okay? Mio-san sat next to me and held my hands tightly. Her touch brought me back to reality. Like, all those maggots like you saw and like going when your blood actually used as assumed as Oyashiro-sama. Huh. So, what happened? Nobody believed me, but then he showed up. Oyashiro-sama came to me. The memory is very vague, and I saw flickering lights. Made it difficult for me to remember. Oh, wait, flickering lights. I'm getting recalled of like both like TV shows and like having like this almost like flickering light therapy stuff, and now just thinking in my own brain it's like something like that was happening, like hypnotism and stuff like that. Oh, good God, is actually what's going on again? Ugh, God damn it! Just then it goes back to the doctor again, honestly. But if it was like outside of the town, then and actually I just line up with I guess who quote unquote the doctor was in the first installment. Then who would then that be then by that point? If like it's hypnotism or something like that? I don't know. I met Oyashiro-sama. That sentence is all I remembered. The memory of actually meeting Oyashiro-sama was unbelievably vague to me. After I got out of the hospital, I continued being treated at home. I still felt something moving my veins, so I wanted to cut my body to make the blood ooze out so that I could make sure there were no maggots in there. Usually, I was sleeping like the dead because of the strong pills I was taking. But one day, I forgot to take the pill and my consciousness was very clear. I felt the maggots move in my veins and I felt the urge to look inside. I cut a vein in my wrist. Ugh. I knew it. A lot of blood and many dusky red maggots came out from the wound. I wanted to wash them off before they crawled back inside me, so I put my wrist into running water in the bathroom sink. Oh God, I tried to open the vein. Oh, good God. Water, blood, and maggots ran down into the drain. Just like squeezing out the pus from a pimple, I squeezed the vein to get rid of the bloody dirt, the bloody dirty blood and the maggots. I kept doing it. My arms started to feel numb and I felt cold, but I kept doing it. I thought I might die from losing too much blood, but I kept doing it. The body's full of maggots. I had to squeeze all the blood out of me. Oh, good God. And then a very bright light shone upon me. It was a very bizarre sensation. I never experienced anything like it in my life. All of a sudden, the dark bathroom was filled with a bright light. It was very bright, but gentle. It wasn't like the light from the merciless fluorescent bulb. It was very warm and gentle. That was Oyashiro-sama. If it was in the bathroom then, it does seem like there's something going on in your brain at the time, like just mental illness, like back then, or something else more divine happened, but Oyashiro-sama was looking at me with gentleness and sadness in his eyes. As he touched my wound, the maggots started melting and disappearing in front of my eyes. That wasn't all. All the maggots that were moving throughout all my veins disappeared too. Oyashiro-sama taught me. These maggots were the curse. People with the demon's blood can't live outside of Hinamizawa. Okay. It's the rule. So, all demon's blood has, maggots in it. Wow, if only Keiichi stepped down and looked at all the blood leaking out of everyone when he killed everyone the first time, he could have saw, maggots going around. Oh, wow. Unfortunately, you've been cursed. It's very sad, and I feel sorry for you. There's only one way to save you. That's what he said. What should I do? The answer was very simple. All I needed to do was to go back to Hinamizawa. I unconsciously knew that before I heard it from him. People who were born in Hinamizawa must never leave. But I broke Oyashiro-sama's rules. I left Hinamizawa. That's when my family was broken. I lost my mind. If I hadn't left Hinamizawa, nothing would have gone wrong. And so, I had to go back. Oyashiro-sama also told me this. He can make the maggots, the embodiment of the curse, disappear. But only temporarily because I lived far from Hinamizawa. After a while, the power of Oyashiro-sama would fade away. The curse would start eating my body again. If that happened, the maggots would take over my body and I would go insane and die. I must go back to Hinamizawa before his power to hold down the curse faded away. I'm trying to think, if, like, she'd been taking all these pills and making her more unconscious even from home, you know, I guess the hospital? I mean, the could be someone manipulating her, like trying to think a more human element about to all this. Like even she like knew her consciously about all that, but That's what Oyashiro-sama told me. He did. I heard him tell me that. I should have gone back to Hinamizawa earlier then. That's why Oyashiro-sama came to me to put this curse on me. But he gave me a chance. He gave me a chance to pay for my sin of leaving Hinamizawa. Dad, listen, Oyashiro-sama's gonna help us. Let's go back to Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa is the place where we must live. If we don't, not only me, but you might be cursed too. I wonder how her dad actually, like, felt like hearing that. Maybe not even just from her, but from the doctors as well. Let's go back to Hinamizawa. That's the only place where we can live. We need to hurry. We need to hurry, or Oyashiro-sama's power will fade away. My body will be eaten by the maggots. Oh no, Oyashiro-sama's following me. He's telling me to hurry. He follows me everywhere and keeps telling me to hurry. He keeps apologizing to me for putting this curse on me. He follows me everywhere and keeps apologizing. I'm telling you the truth. I am. Why can't anybody see it? Why can't they see the maggots or Oyashiro-sama? Everybody's trying to fool me. I know they could see them too. No, no, please stop. I don't want to get another shot. Yeah, it just seems like it's all just, like, it all just seems like it's all conversations intermingled with her, when she was not thinking clearly back then. Like, from all the, that she from back then, everything. Oh, boy. Are you okay? I was breathing hard, and Miyo-san was holding my shoulders. I could feel that terrible memory I'd been trying to forget was awakening. The doctors told me that memory was just my delusion. They told me that since I blamed myself for the divorce, I unconsciously had a desire to blame someone else for it. And I unconsciously connected the desire to the folktale of Oyashiro-sama that I read when I was little. I got drug treatment, received counseling, and waited. I gradually got better, and that proved the things I saw were just hallucination. Or the people were trying to manipulate you, slowly stop doing that so you associate with that. The doctors asked my father to consider moving to Hinamizawa if possible. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Even they told them to. Fortunately, he wanted to change his living environment to heal his pain from the divorce as well. So we came back to Hinamizawa. After we came back, I felt it. I felt in my bones this is a place where we should live. Or maybe it's literally just the feeling of everything being more comfortable since you used to live here for a bit, honestly. It could be that feeling. Almost the same way of like if you move away from your hometown and come back, everything feels familiar and I guess more cozy again, honestly. It's just that feeling. And I also felt Oyashiro-sama's blessing. I definitely felt it. I felt the curse of Oyashiro-sama starting to break. I was free. After I moved here, I went to the clinic in Gogura for a while. The doctor gave me the same poisonous-looking pills, and I kept taking them for a while. Literally, it's a new clinic and taking the same goddamn pills then. And if it seemed like there was a doctor being behind the front on maybe there's a whole legion of doctors and stuff like that. Or literally one doctor like misgiving up symptoms and all that to other doctors, like, for other appointments, and yeah, making them like have the same exact reactions and all that to him, giving the same exact pills, honestly. There's technically either could be the whole thing of him, they even mistaking him, looks like he's just ailing her mental illness wise and giving her the wrong medication for it and didn't help at all, and that's even tragedy work, like, already happening on itself then, if that is true. The doctor gave me the same poisonous-looking pills, and I kept taking them for a while. The terrible memory gradually became unclear. Whenever I try to remember it, I can only remember the strong side effect of the pills. Made me dizzy. That's how I gained my peace. And then I changed my name. Reina. The reason was because my name reminded me of those bad memories. I didn't want to have anything icky in my life anymore. That's why I came up with the idea of taking icky things out. When I took the I of icky out after my name, Reina, there were only Re and Na left. That's how Reina was born. I like that. I'm still gonna call her Reina. I'm sorry, but like still. When I was introduced to my classmates, I told them to call me Reina. Since then, that had been my name. I'm living my new life as Reina. I cut away all the sad things that happened when I was Reina. My father still calls me Reina, but I don't feel bad as long as it was just my father and my relatives. But then, Rena came to my life one day, and she called me Reina. Because she called me Reina, those colored lights started flickering again. I should stop. I should forget about it. The lights are still flickering. Yeah, they're making a whole thing about lights instead of, I guess your own head. I'm sorry. Was I panicking that badly? You're muttering to yourself. I'm glad you calmed down. Judging by Mio-san's reaction, I wasn't panicking as bad as I thought it was. But I probably had those panicked hallucinations several times. If I start screaming and yelling like I once did, they'd take me away to a hospital again for sure. I'm certain I met Oyashiro-sama. I saw the maggots. It's hard to believe, right? Mio-san smiled, looking a little confused. I couldn't blame her. I didn't expect her to believe it. I'm sure it was just a strange memory created for myself, my hallucinations. Or maybe she noticed there's actually something wrong there, honestly. Or, like, this is the first time of her hearing any kind of, like, that kind of hallucination. I can't believe I can't trust myself. That's the worst feeling of all. Reina-chan, first of all, you don't have to worry about anything. Yes. I'm talking about the curse you're afraid of, the maggots that you saw in your blood. According to what Oyashiro-sama said, you're free from them as long as you stay in Hinamizawa, right? Yes, that's what he said. Then you don't have to be scared. You don't have to worry about anything. You're in Hinamizawa right now. Well, this library is in Okinonomiya, but it's very close to Hinamizawa. I'm sure it's okay with Oyashiro-sama. You don't feel anything moving in your veins right now, do you? No, I don't. So there's nothing to worry about. You're following Oyashiro-sama's rules. There's nothing you should be scared of. Is there? Right? No. No. I didn't know until then that she was such a warm-hearted person. I met many doctors and talked to them about this, but they always ignored me. Didn't really listen. Hi, Coach Eerie! All they did was give me a shot of the drug I hated. On the other hand, Mio-san didn't deny my story or the existence of Oyashiro-sama. People in this village whispered behind her back that she's a little crazy, but she was actually a very kind person, I thought. Reina-chan, I believe everything you just told me. Thank you so much. You're the first person to ever say that to me. So are you. You're the first one who didn't laugh at me and listen to me so seriously. I think we can be good friends. Mio-san smiled, touching my head with hers. Well, I'll let you borrow my secret files and my scrapbooks. These are top secret. Confidential. Top secret and bottom secret, middle secret. I didn't want to show these to anybody, but you're special. I think I can trust you. I know you'll take them seriously. She took a few scrapbooks out of her paper bag and handed them to me. Did you actually tell Oishi that you had these scrapbooks, or like you left those out of the interrogation, honestly? Just like, or like it was only just a few days before you started reading them, and I like started, now you're just studying them full force now that she's gone. Oh boy. Let me know what you think after you read them. Like, did you come back? She comes back. If she was still alive, and like Reina hands it back, she sees a bunch of them. Okay, you misspelled this word here. Here's a red circle there. Indent your paragraphs here. Just a whole grammar sheet. Just just laughable grammar mistakes, and honestly, just what do you mean here and all of that? Just the most detailed notes, but almost listed on every single goddamn page. Let me know what you think after you read them. There might be something in them that only you can understand. Mio-sama's acting mysteriously. She smiled mischievously and put her index finger on her lips as a sign to keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody about these scrapbooks, or them studying this. Okay? We're keeping this a secret? okay, I got it. They find out I've been studying this, they might get rid of me. She laughed after she said that. Huh. They might erase her. That's what she said. And she went missing. She left me her scrapbooks. But that's not all there is to it. It's the way Tomataki-san died. Oichi-san said he committed suicide because of a state of excitation caused by using some kind of drug. But I know what really happened. I didn't tell Oichi-san about it. I don't think he'd believe me even if I had told him. Without a doubt, Tomataki-san died trying to get rid of the maggots. Nothing other than the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Now we're getting two different takes on how that same thing would have happened with the drugs and all that or not. Like how at least Rika's was literally just accidentally taking it and then just taking it as a way of almost just what was it like just offing yourself, like whether just in your own terms or something like that. To never leave Hinamizawa isn't the only rule of Oyashiro-sama. There are more. He might have broken one of them without knowing it. Oishi-san told me. Tomitaki-san was taking pictures of his camera flash on during the sacred ritual dance. Some people got mad at him for it. I mean, if he was doing that for every single year of the festival, then that doesn't make any sense either, then. No, I don't believe that for a second. Did Oyashiro-sama put his curse into Tomitaki because he violated a sacred ritual dance? I don't think so, honestly. If he was coming to this town for every single year, then no? It might be for another reason. Anyway, he died from the curse of Oyashiro-sama without a doubt. I mean, it's like him being a photographer and saying oh, there's a festival going on every single year, and man, I won't go to the festival this year, honestly, like that. I won't go this year. I'll go no, a couple years from now, honestly. That seems almost too good as a photographer not to take photos and stuff like that, honestly. Maybe he didn't had time to go from the one the year where I guess when the year Satoshi couldn't die and all this, honestly he vanished, the ant died. I can believe that, but those other past years before that, I don't believe that for a second, honestly. Did that mean Oyashiro-sama put his curse in Mio-san too? The fact you're holding these notebooks now means, technically speaking, you're now being cursed all over again as well because you're holding a cursed artifact from some cursed individual. Well, they were cursed before they died, but you know what I mean. Investigating the gods is the same as getting close to the gods. It's disrespecting them. But Mio-san told me that they might get rid of her if they found out about her investigation. By they, she meant humans. Plus, according to her theory, the three families are in a conspiracy to revive their faith in Oyashiro-sama. They just turn right back around to complete detective mode. Here for it. But I can tell by the way Tomitaki-san died that it was an act of the curse. I'm certain about that because I experienced the curse myself. At first glance, that seemed incompatible with those conspiracy theories about human beings. I remember that Oishi-san told me something about some kind of drug that can make a person commit suicide. So the three families have a secret drug that can only cause the curse of Oyashiro-sama? No, that's impossible. Plus, I didn't get any shots of a suspicious drug like that. I had a normal life in Ibaraki. Or maybe those drugs you were being injected by those doctors all itself were the drug itself. I wasn't involved with the Sonozaki family, the Kimiyoshi family. Oichi-san asked me a favor. He asked me to tell him secretly if I saw or heard anything suspicious. It could be about Mi-chan, Rika-chan, or anybody in the village. Mio-san believed my story about Oyashiro-sama. Now she's gone. Tomitaki-san died by doing the same thing I did. Oh no, 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 no. I don't want to get involved with the curse of Oyashiro-sama. That's going back around to him not talking to anyone about it because of this whole business again. It's also, again, the same thing if Keiichi started, thinking about it in the second installment. Egged on by what Shion just, made up on the spot. Is this a conspiracy of a group of fanatical cult members? Or is it the curse of Oyashiro-sama? Is everything just a set of coincidences? Or maybe just a mixture of a conspiracy and the curse? It could be that, honestly. It just, to me, it just feels like what was happening when you were in Ibaraki actually, like, is now, like, that experience actually coincides with what's actually happening now. It's just, that part's a coincidence, honestly, to me. If it's not, like, it's not a whole giant doctor conspiracy, honestly. I don't know. Is it the work of humans, the curse, or a coincidence? Oh no, even the light of sunset was making me feel dizzy. Why did the sunlight in Hinamizawa get so mean? Mio-san told me to keep her investigation secret. I have her top secret scrapbooks. They might hold the truth about everything. But I realized that I got scared all of a sudden. I might end up the same way as Mio-san, because I have her scrapbooks. If it's a conspiracy, I'll be erased. If it's the curse, I'll be cursed. No, I should burn these scrapbooks. It's the safest thing to do. But Mio-san believed my story. She listened to me without laughing. No, it'd feel wrong to burn them without taking a look. If it's a conspiracy, I have to expose it. If it's a curse, I have to break it. I shouldn't run away. I should fight it. That's right. I decided to fight to seize my happiness, didn't I? I shouldn't give in to the misfortunes. I had to fight. I'm gonna get rid of all the things that are trying to ruin my peaceful life. I'm gonna read her scrapbooks when I get home. I started walking faster. Yeah, it's definitely an alternative situation to what happened in Chapter 1, then. Hmm. Lunch takeout list? Okay, that's a bit weird to, like, have a tip thing be. Huh. Achievement unlocked. Icky things believe in a conspiracy. God damn it. It's like it's part of the scrapbook, looks like. Just different tint on it. Oh, it's the hospital top. Yeah, this literal just this sound like song, honestly, it sounds so goddamn familiar, even still, honestly. It sounds like a Kevin McLeod song from like the things you can hear like for crew pasta backdrops, like, you know, for background music. If you ever heard of those, like listen to readings of them. Attention, Kuroda Mental Clinic. Hello. To get straight to the point, we can assume this is an acute case of post-traumatic stress disorder. The patient is subject to tremendous stress because of their parents' sudden divorce, being forced to choose to live with either her mother or her father. Furthermore, the patient firmly believes that she was responsible for her parents' divorce, which further drives her to self-mutilation. The patient's largest shock stems from a sense of betrayal of her own household, which she believed was an absolute safe haven. Henceforth, there's a high possibility that the patient will resort to psychological defense measures to protect her family. For example, she might feel high disdain for any person of the opposite sex who approaches her father. She might feel uncomfortable about having other people in her home. She might also display eccentric behavior in order to keep people away from it. As an example of the latter, there are reported cases of patients unconsciously bringing home garbage. Yeah, it feels like it's like all like, oh, the dad, like, did her dad actually all like was told all this from the doctors, honestly, too. It's highly important that the patient remains in close communication with her father. By deepening the communication between the two of them, it'll strengthen their family bond and loosen up her anxiety. Since the patient only shows signs of an acute syndrome in this case, there's a very good chance that she'll recover within 3 months within her father's support and proper medication. It's common for patients who seem to have recovered to have a sudden reoccurrence, or a flashback, after 10 years. Yeah. Her father is still fairly young, and there's still a chance that he could remarry. However, seeing an unfamiliar member of the opposite sex through remarriage could trigger a flashback in the patient, which may lead to avoidance behavior or hyper-awareness. Yeah, like, I need to look more into post-traumatic stress disorder, honestly. I really, like, researched into it just to write this one short story. And, like, this feels, like, both familiar, but at the same time, not familiar. But the whole hyper-avoidance and all that. The flashbacks are thing to learn about that, and obviously if they try to have, like, some people have like PTSD, like try to have avoidance of certain things that lead to them thinking back to those horrible events in their life, honestly. But the whole thing of like what was it again, of hyper awareness, and yeah, the flashback things, even if like it's a whole thing of even if it feels like it's gone, like it's still kind of there in the background. It's almost like I guess you could say almost imprinted or just into their brain by this point. Caused that much trauma, honestly. However, seeing an unfamiliar member of the opposite sex through remarriage could trigger a flashback in the patient, which may lead to avoidance behavior or hyper-awareness. Please explain this part thoroughly to the father in order for him to understand the recovery process. Should the father decide to remarry, it's recommended that he should hold off on telling the patient until she reaches the age where she's capable of living independently. Yeah, okay, then yeah, that's where the whole conversation comes from and all that. And, plus, since Rena was pushing it, oh, that make things even more worse. Yay. Also, the cause of the patient's psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior, delusional parasitosis, seems to be its own culture-bound syndrome. Yeah, like, that was the thing, like, all that seemed, like, fresh to me, honestly. That didn't seem like anything I've seen when researching post-traumatic stress disorder. The patient blindly believes that leaving her home village would cause a curse. This curse was the cause of her parents' divorce. They believe this is a subconscious defense mechanism to reduce her mental trauma by shifting the blame from herself to the village's curse. According to the patient's statement, the culture of her home village is extremely strict and exclusive. The patient believes that there is no way to be saved from the curse other than by going back to the village, as the curse will continue as long as she lives in her current environment. Through this, we see inclination of schizophrenia, and believe the chances are high the patient will continue to alter their perceived reality. Schizophrenia, a case where patients' personalities are reduced, causing altered perception of reality and delusions. Yeah. Okay, like, I'm so happy they're not going down the stupid, multiple personalities, like, thing here, honestly, if I'm, especially if, how she's all being tied to him, like, killing people and all that, like, my god. It all makes sense with the whole schizophrenia part, though, if I'm, the whole, seeing Oyashiro-sama, like, taking it, like, I'm, linking in with him, the curse back then. So, yeah. Schizophrenia, a case where patients' personalities are reduced, causing altered perceptions of reality and delusions. Her delusion about the maggots dwelling in her blood is a perfect example. It's also the cause of her psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior. When delusion involves psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior, it's extremely dangerous. I highly recommend for the father to move back to the village if he's financially capable. Allowing her to live with relatives in the village might also work. Such a strong belief can induce symptoms such as self-mutilation, and there might be other cases similar to this one. Perhaps prior medical files that document similar culture-bound syndromes may be available at a large medical institution in her local area. Connections? It'll then be possible to provide better and more accurate mental care for the patient by obtaining these case files. This B5 size letter was with a bunch of memos. The following is the backside of the letter. 1. Chukadon, 3 Shanghai-style Gumamaku Yakisoba, 1 large fried rice. Okay. It's really just I guess just make it be more lighthearted or all that and everything's happening so far. Just about someone made a little grocery list or like just a list of them when they're going to a restaurant to order. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely should need to look more into like all this kind of stuff, like PTSD and schizophrenia. Like, it's definitely gonna be just more like both of them more interesting to read and like figure things out, and also it's definitely gonna apply more to them this story. But we already know that the author like is a caseworker for for kids and all that. Like, definitely from all this like has a wide reach of knowledge about all these kind of like mental disorders and all that. So, and like, yeah, like I was gonna say, like about the whole thing. If this was gonna be a reinstallment of like a reparallel of the first installment, I would have been so mad because, like, again, I think I already implied of it, but that's be a big thing to leave over. It's not even a whole thing of like an unreliable narrator, like they just didn't want to think about it and like start lying. Which, even though there was that in there actually with Keiichi, it seemed it would be way too big, honestly, to completely forget about, especially if he's trying to figure it all out in his brain. Why wouldn't he think about it? And then actually the mystery then would have been unfair. Even to this point, like multiple times, the story has been shown to be everything was planned out in advance before even the first word was jotted down on a page, of a first draft. That's what it feels like, even from like even continuing on. Just it's all of everything that we learned so far, just mostly just building off from the last installment, stuff like that. It's always been that way. And so far, besides, I guess just trying to figure out what the different distinction is between why like Mio is like, not like is either found, burned, like, after like being strangled and her body burning in an oil drum in the mountains, or she's just not found entirely. Feels like it's up to almost pure chance or whatever is different between them, honestly. Yeah, okay, so instead of Keiichi being, I guess, getting in touch with Oishi instead of in the first installment, now we're going with Reina, who's technically has, like, is now we're going with her whole thing of, like, oh, this, taking her experience with her own, like, I guess, fuzzy mental state with schizophrenia, and I'm associating it with the curse itself, and now looking into a conspiracy about it. Which I was thinking before, it actually was just the mental illness actually, like, coincided with her, like, equating it to the curse of the village itself. But yeah, the story's, like, perfectly equating both actual, like, sign stuff and, like, the sound of actual supernatural elements with Rika's forecast, and also just pure coincidences, like, with, again, with the mental illness and, like, what's happening with the town itself. So literally about the coincidence thing, the curse thing, and the human thing, like, all applied here. So yeah, it all makes sense. Like, even like applies as well to like mass hysteria a bit as well. Honestly. Yeah. Then okay. Then. So okay. So Oishi is then gonna keep in contact with Reina then, like, figure things out. It's probably just because like she seems like she's like, I guess, pushing back against like herself, and honestly, I hope to good God it's not like he just realizes like she's in a vulnerable state right now because like her past and all that, and like he's not taking advantage of her. Please don't. Please just don't. Just stop. It just seems like he just more focused on like she seems fine now, but she's just more distant because of everything that happened in her past, honestly. I hope that's what they're taking, like, with Oishi's route, honestly, with that. Because, like, even with the small bits of Oishi, like, even, like, trying to take and manipulate other people, like, even Keiichi, and, like, trying to do some trickery and all that, it didn't seem to go that far. Like, that far into over the line. Hopefully it doesn't even get up to the line, to that border, honestly. Let's just make sure, like, it stays a few step backs, honestly, because if it gets to that point, nothing will hold me back from just, like, absolutely despising him in any capacity. Nothing will make me go back on that. Nothing would, honestly. Oh boy. But I guess we'll leave things off for right here. Reina will continue on to her own investigation into everything, making her own little points of deduction, and researching into her own points of interest, which I guess we'll find out that much out, and much more, for next time. So, have a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope to see you next time, for the time that may be. And I hope a fantastic day.